On October 7, 2023, Hamas launched a devastating attack on Israel, shocking the entire world. Israel was caught off guard and soon retaliated on a massive scale. The very next day, October 8, 2023, Hezbollah from Lebanon, an ally of Hamas, began attacking Israel from the north. Hezbollah's most significant attack targeted Sheba Farms, a disputed area between Lebanon and Israel. Rockets were launched and airstrikes followed in quick succession. Hezbollah is a Shia group backed by Iran, holding significant control in southern Lebanon. It has both political and military wings, with 13 seats in Lebanon's parliament. When Hezbollah launched its attacks on October 8th, Israel responded with airstrikes. Within 2 days of the October 7th incident, Israel found itself in a two-front war, fighting Hamas in the south and Hezbollah in the north. Hezbollah's intense preparations became clear on October 11th, when they launched attacks from Lebanon's northern region into Israel, using heavy artillery, anti-tank missiles, and drones.
Hezbollah fires dozens of missiles and rockets into Israel today, including one aimed at Tel Aviv, which was intercepted. Israel Rescue Services say that no injuries or damages.
In the same week, reports emerged that 20 Hezbollah militants were planning to enter northern Israel via paragliders, aiming to repeat the destruction Hamas caused on October 7th. This rumor caused alarms to go off in northern Israel, forcing citizens to seek shelter. However, about 24 to 48 hours later, Israel's army clarified that the alarms were a false alert, triggered by human error. Netanyahu eventually promised that Israelis who fled the north would return home soon, but it wasn't an easy promise to keep, especially considering Hezbollah's strength. Backed by Iran and boasting over 100,000 fighters, Hezbollah and Israeli forces continued their daily confrontations, with Hezbollah operating from southern Lebanon behind a 4-layer defense system. The first layer was tactical defense, followed by rockets and missiles in the second, command and control in the third, and their top leaders in the fourth. Israel turned to its Pegasus software, known for its advanced capabilities. By hacking Hezbollah leaders' phones, Israel tracked their locations and strategies. Using guided missiles, Israel eliminated many Hezbollah leaders, including those not in the war zone, as far as Lebanon and Syria. In November 2023, Israel successfully targeted and killed key Hezbollah leaders, such as Hussam Mohammed Ibrahim, Ali Raf, and Ali Hassan, using guided missiles. By early 2024, Hezbollah realized that Israeli intelligence knew their plans in advance. Largely due to mobile phone tracking, Hezbollah tried to minimize phone usage and switched to alternatives like handwritten messages and pagers for limited communication. In February 2024, Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah appeared on TV, addressing his followers, warning them that their phones were compromised. After this announcement, Hezbollah members quickly abandoned their phones, shifting to pagers instead. Pagers operate on radio frequency, RF technology, making them harder to track than mobile phones, which can be traced via towers, GPS, Wi-Fi, and SIM cards. Pagers, with their one-way communication, became Hezbollah's new tool for coordinating activities. By March 2024, Hezbollah began searching globally for companies to order 5,000 AR-924 pagers. Israel's 8200 intelligence unit, responsible for signals intelligence and cyber operations, monitored this development closely. This unit had a history of cyber expertise, including the remote assassination of Iran's scientist in 2020, using an AI-assisted robot controlled via satellite. Knowing that Hezbollah needed thousands of pagers, 8,200 started tracking global pager manufacturers like Gold Apollo, Multitone Electronics, Unication, and Swissphone. It was discovered that Hezbollah had previously ordered pagers from Taiwan-based Gold Apollo, routing them through several countries to avoid detection. Israel then created a shell company in Budapest, Hungary, named BAC Consulting, as part of its operation to infiltrate the pager supply chain. The company was registered in a building where several other companies were also based, with a woman named Cristiana Bersoni listed as the CEO. However, Reuters exposed inconsistencies in Cristiana's background, revealing that much of her resume was fabricated. Despite these findings, Cristiana remains unreachable to this day. Now, Israel's strategy was to establish BAC Consulting as a front company to engage with Gold Apollo. In addition to BAC Consulting, 2 more shell companies were set up, but no information regarding their names or addresses has been uncovered yet. These 2 companies are believed to be part of Israel's master plan. Once these shell companies were established, they began securing legitimate clients and supplying pagers in bulk to the region. It's still unclear whether the pagers were manufactured locally or imported. Everything mentioned here is based on a report published by Shira Frankel, Saad, and Ronan in the New York Times on September 18. This report has sparked widespread discussion, and you can find all the relevant links in the description below. After creating these shell companies, BAC Consulting claimed to be the information coordinator for the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, doing business with the European Commission in countries like Bulgaria, Croatia, Estonia, Hungary, Malta, and Latvia. With this setup, Israel started conducting business. However, Israel was aware that no matter how established its shell companies became, Hezbollah wouldn't purchase pagers from an unknown source. To solve this, Israel targeted Gold Apollo in Taiwan, a company Hezbollah had trusted and ordered pagers from in the past. Posing as businessmen from Budapest, Israeli agents arranged a meeting at Gold Apollo's office. After multiple discussions, they secured an agreement with Gold Apollo, allowing BAC Consulting to use Gold Apollo's name and branding. Under this deal, BAC Consulting would manufacture its own AR-924 pager devices and sell them with the Gold Apollo logo. Gold Apollo had no idea that they were dealing with an Israeli shell company. As part of the agreement, BAC Consulting promised to share profits with Gold Apollo and even offered a signing bonus. With the deal sealed, BAC Consulting began producing pagers under the guise of Gold Apollo. In an official statement, Gold Apollo later clarified that they only provided branding and had no involvement in the manufacturing process, which was handled entirely by BAC Consulting. Once BAC Consulting had produced the pagers, they began supplying them to various clients while waiting for their main target. Hezbollah. Hezbollah had previously purchased pagers from Gold Apollo, but convincing them to buy pagers made by BAC Consulting under the Gold Apollo brand was a tough challenge. Israel then deployed its agents, who were embedded in Lebanon and among Hezbollah members. These agents were tasked with ensuring that Hezbollah, through its covert channels, would become a client of BAC Consulting. It's still unclear which agents were used, what tricks were applied, or how Hezbollah was convinced to order pagers from BAC Consulting. The investigation is ongoing. However, Israel eventually succeeded, and according to Sky News, Hezbollah ordered 5,000 pagers from BAC Consulting. The first batch of 3,000 pagers was shipped, with the remaining 2,000 to follow later. Sean Morehouse, a former British Army bomb disposal officer, suggested that the pagers provided to Hezbollah may have been altered. He theorized that one of the 2 identical batteries in the pager could have been swapped out and filled with explosives. While one battery powered the device, the other could have been designed to detonate. This technique would have used a small amount of PETN, a powerful explosive frequently used by intelligence agencies in covert operations. In February 2024, the Israeli pagers began entering Lebanon, with Hezbollah operatives unknowingly carrying pagers that were, in fact, ticking bombs under Israel's control. On September 17, 2024, the same day the pager attack was scheduled, Israel's security cabinet held a long meeting about Hezbollah. Following this meeting, Prime Minister Netanyahu announced that it was time for northern Israelis who had fled their homes to return. He also hinted at fundamental security changes near Israel's northern border. Later that day, at 3:30 p.m., Hezbollah members in Lebanon received a message on their pagers, believing it to be an order from their leadership. The pagers, which had been silent, suddenly vibrated and began ringing. Moments later, pagers all over Lebanon started self-detonating in markets, homes, and public places, injuring civilians alongside Hezbollah members. Hospitals across Lebanon were overwhelmed with the injured, and chaos spread as citizens began removing batteries from their phones, laptops, and other devices, fearing they might explode as well. Panic even reached the airports, where people discarded the batteries from their phones and pagers. The next day, on September 18, 2024, as people were mourning the dead, walkie-talkies and solar panels started exploding. This fueled further panic, with citizens now fearing that any device could be a ticking time bomb. One shocking revelation was that the Iranian ambassador to Lebanon, Mojtaba Amani, was also injured when his pager exploded. This raised questions about why Hezbollah's pagers were in the hands of Iranian officials. When ICOM model ICF-24 walkie-talkies, which had stopped production in 2014, also began exploding, the Japanese company behind the model expressed confusion, stating they had no idea how these walkie-talkies were involved. The most widely accepted theory is that an encrypted message was sent remotely to the devices, causing them to overheat and explode due to pre-programmed chips. However, it is nearly impossible to confirm this theory, as no company or country is willing to admit any involvement with Hezbollah, a group declared a terrorist organization by multiple nations. Israel has not officially commented on the pager attack, although Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant stated that a new phase of warfare had begun. The situation indicates that a full-scale war between Hezbollah and Israel may be imminent, with the possibility of Israel conducting a ground invasion in Lebanon to bring its citizens back to the northern region.